Welcome to another investor podcast called the Real Estate Roadmap Riches. I am really honored to have a really good guest with us today. His name is Munif Saza. And Munif has a big background in not only Subject 2, but he's also one of the bigger wholesalers in the DMV area. And so I want to just say welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me, Charlie.
And let's just get started right away. I know you have a background in Sub 2. Mm-hmm. And for you guys out there that know what Sub 2 is, Sub 2 means subject to the existing mortgage. And there's a big, it's the group created by Pace Morby. And Munif has been part of that group for how long?
Since 2021.
All right, 2021. So he's going on about, 4 years doing that? And then how long have you been doing wholesaling?
2019, so 6 years now.
Okay, and then before that, you were in IT?
Yep, I was in cybersecurity. I worked as a contractor. We did government projects, and I did privileged access management. I did access and identity management.
Now, when you were doing that, did you do real estate at the same time, or how did you even get into Sub 2? How did you get into wholesaling? Tell me the transition behind that, because why I'm really intrigued is because you guys don't know this, but this is a very similar transition that I did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's right.
That's cool. So I'll give you a little bit of background. I bought my first piece of real estate in 2018. It was my primary residence. I was pressured by friends and family. You gotta own, you gotta own, you gotta own. I rented, and they said, hey, you're losing all your money. Rent is like 100% interest. You don't actually own anything. You need to own. So I go and buy my primary. It was a condo.
Where?
Arlington.
Okay. Yeah. Arlington, Virginia.
Virginia. Buy a condo, 2018, February, 4.75% interest rate. Yeah. Make a down payment. I renovate it. Use my savings to renovate the condo. I thought, here I'm building wealth. Literally, I move in. The first week of moving in, I read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Great book.
Yeah, sure.
Great book. The book tells me I made a horrible mistake.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Well,
why?
Because it was my primary. It doesn't cash flow.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
Because I'm not building well. I'm spent all this money into a primary.
Yeah.
You can get a tax break, move out.
Absolutely.
And then keep it as a rental.
Absolutely.
But wait a minute. Working this IT job, you're making more than $2 an hour.
I sure am.
Yeah.
But, also, condos don't appreciate. One-bedroom condos don't appreciate as well.
That's right.
Maybe I should have house hacked it. There's a lot of other things I could have done.
It's hard to hack a one bedroom.
I just didn't exactly.
No, the problem with the condo is the condo fee.
The condo fee kills me.
That's the problem.
It does.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for it to appreciate because, your mortgage might stay the same every month or every year over year, same, but then your payments still go up because the condo fees go up.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's just climbing,
cash flow.
especially as the condo gets old.
Yep.
No, that's right.
And the one bedroom, 700 square foot condos don't appreciate as well.
No, that's true.
No,
that's true.
I started doing the math. I started, going into the rabbit hole and going, oh my gosh, I didn't know.
Okay, so what'd you do with the condo? You still own it?
I got rid of it.
Yes.
No, but hold on though. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, their whole premise is to teach you to make assets make money for you, right?
Yes.
So that could be owning a business.
Yes.
It could be owning a rental portfolio.
Yes.
Residential.
Yes.
It could be owning some commercial assets. It could be anything, but it's all based upon assets making assets. And so did you just get tired of, what were the rents in the condo at that point?
It's negative cash flow, $500 to $600. So I learned I didn't buy an asset. I bought a liability.
Yeah.
Because my monthly payment was $2,400 a month with the condo fees and everything in.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, this is a liability. Mm-hmm. I was paying $1,400 a month renting. Mm-hmm. Right. I put probably $50,000 into that. Like I could have bought maybe a multifamily in the Midwest. There's a lot of things I could have done with my money.
I understand. We get it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was really good. It was very eye-opening. I didn't immediately sell it. I lived there and I held it for, there's a long story, but I turned it into an Airbnb and made money some months.
That's another great story.
Then my condo sued me because I
was going to ask that
unlawful rent.
I was going to ask that question. But wait a minute though. How could the condo have sued you? Because there was no chance that Airbnb is even in their condo docs.
They added it later.
They added it.
Yeah, they can do that. They can make the rules however they want. That's
No, but the board has to add it. The board has to agree to it. Okay, and they
Can't use it as a rental. Can't. have-
you can use it as a rental.
No, you can't use it as a short-term rental.
Yep.
Some of them limit you can't use them as rentals.
So that's the thing.
Looked at nice ones down there.
These
that were-
condo associations are like mini tyrannies.
They are.
Yeah.
You know what
That's
I mean?
absolutely the case.
That's what they are. And like HOA, like people hate HOAs. Like, hey, you really don't know what a tyranny is until you have a condo association.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
They, you know, it's
Yeah,
different.
co-ops are the same. They're even
Oh,
another level.
Oh, we
Another
hate
level.
co-ops.
Yeah.
Oh, we hate
Yeah.
co-ops. Okay, so then what happened? So you went through this experience, and the funny thing is I don't call that a bad experience.
I think it was a best
Just a
experience
life
of my
experience,
life.
right?
Yeah.
I made so much more money doing this than I would have ever made in IT.
But what's doing this?
Wholesaling.
Yeah. Okay. So let's
So
go.
but you didn't just jump into wholesaling from IT, did you?
Yeah,
How did
right.
you make
Yeah,
that move?
yeah.
It was good, yeah. So there's a transition.
Because didn't you live in Arizona?
I did.
So did you go from Virginia to Arizona?
I
Or
did.
okay, so tell us about that. So you're working this IT job.
Yep.
Were you allowed to work it remotely?
I was remote, full 100% remote.
Gotcha. So then you went to Arizona.
Yes.
Why?
So I actually moved to Arizona after I quit my IT job.
Oh, you quit your IT
I
job.
quit.
Oh, so you never worked the IT job while you went to Arizona.
Oh no.
You didn't have that D battery on your keyboard making sure you're logged in.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You ever heard that
Oh,
story?
I know. Oh, I know.
You know about the D battery?
I-
What are the other? The jiggle mouse.
There's
the jiggle
mouse jiggler. There's I'm not
So you
gonna
didn't
say I
do-
did or didn't.
I get it.
I know
we
all these
understand.
things.
We understand the mouse jiggler. We understand the D battery, guys. For you guys out there, what that means is you put a D battery on the keyboard, you bring up a text file or a Microsoft Word, and you let the
run it.
keys scroll.
All
makes
day
it
long,
seem
it
like
looks
you're
like you're
logged in,
typing.
so your employer thinks you're logged in. That's
All
a D
day
battery. Then
typing.
there's a mouse squiggler. Anyway,
So in my job, we handle tickets. And so my manager told me, he's like, as long as the tickets come in and you take care of your tickets, I don't care what
Awesome.
you do in your free time.
Perfect.
That was-
There you go.
I'm on the clock. Tickets come in. I handle them.
Yeah.
What I do, he's like, I don't care if you mow your lawn. I don't take
Oh, nice.
care if you
Good
do whatever
boss.
you do.
Great.
Boss.
Great. I like that.
Love,
Yeah.
love,
I like
love the
that.
company. It was great.
just cared about your producing. Doesn't matter the time you took to produce, but that's a good job. Why would you have left that job though? Tell me this.
Because it did take, I was full time. It did take 20, 30 hours of my week.
Poor baby.
Yeah. I know.
20-hour week.
And
It's a tough one.
I couldn't. I'm not a good multitasker.
Okay.
I see.
So you got to be focused
When
all
I'm
in.
on the phone talking to sellers.
Focused all in.
My first 10 calls might suck, but I'm building momentum.
That's
for
right.
My 11th, 12th, 13th.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Now, if I'm talking to sellers and I'm trying to close a deal, and then I get a ticket,
Yeah.
I have to hang up and answer the ticket.
Hang on a second. I got to go back to my ticket.
That's okay.
And
Yeah, I get it.
did that for 6 months.
Yeah. It's hard.
And while that was going on, so I did the Closers Olympics. It's a wholesaling tournament, it's a live stream tournament with
that's
the
fun.
wholesalers, and they give you leads, and you have to get a contract in 30 minutes.
Dude, I love this.
It was
where
it was,
where
put
was that?
this
Is
on?
that virtual?
it was
or is that-
virtual.
Who put it on?
Elijah.
Elijah.
Rubin put
Oh,
it together.
I love
like
this.
that.
Those
This
guys
is
put it together.
incredible.
The Arizona guys put this together. And so it was a nationwide competition, and I didn't even want to participate. Pace volunteered me.
Wait a minute though. We haven't bridged this gap yet. So you're in Virginia.
Yep.
You're working cybersecurity, right?
Yep.
You quit your job.
So the Closures Olympics happened before I quit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I was
Did
dabbling.
Pace Morby happen before you quit?
Absolutely. They're about 6 to
So you were
8
in
months.
Virginia though with Pace Morby.
Absolutely. at the
Okay,
beginning.
now I
Yep.
get it. Now I get it.
So the way I met Pace is I DM'd him and I said, hey, I'm learning this wholesaling stuff. I've had a bad experience with previous mentorships.
Yeah.
Before, I'm not going to name names, but I've
Right.
taken out like a line of credit against that condo.
That's smart.
And I got my 50 grand out of it, put it into a mentorship.
That's smart.
And didn't make any money from that.
It's okay, but you're learning.
I learned
That's the
that
key.
I needed to figure out how to make my money back.
That's
so I'm
right.
gonna figure it out one way or another.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it was great, a great experience. I'm glad I did it because if I didn't, I don't think I would have been all in real estate. Because now I'm in. I'm 50 grand in. I got this. Got to make.
Yeah,
money.
we got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're gonna go.
We're gonna make some money.
So
Yeah.
I heard about Pace Morby. I DM him on Instagram, and he's blowing up. He's really big at this point. Got
Yeah, but Rich Dad Poor Dad doesn't teach you about real estate. Why did you decide real estate as opposed to buying a Subway, as opposed to maybe buying
because
Chick-fil-A?
there was after I got the book, I got an Instagram ad, and Rich Dad is Robert Kiyosaki's face.
Yeah.
And it was this education seminar using his face saying, hey, if you want to learn, more of the book, we have a 1-day program here in Arlington, Virginia
On real estate?
on real estate.
Oh, cool.
And
Okay.
then that's,
Got it.
I went to the 1 day, they sold me on a 3-day. Then the 3 days sold me on the 1 year. And that was
Oh, that's interesting.
The kickoff for it.
that was the kickoff.
Okay, and then you're into wholesaling. You decide.
Then I'm
you're
in
gonna do-
wholesaling
then you're-
because I don't have capital.
Right, so you want to build build
build
your
capital.
capital
Sure.
stack.
And that's when I, tried it with them. I even paid for like a mentor, like a wholesaling mentor. And,
Yeah,
it
of
was,
Yeah.
now that I look back at it, it's not that it didn't work. It's that they're teaching me the right skills, but it wasn't working fast enough because I wasn't there yet on my skill set. So all the other things they were teaching were good things. Like now that I know, I just sucked, right? Because I've never done business. I've never sold on the
No, we call it the book smarts, right?
Yeah.
There's a parallel that says book smarts, but then you got to get street smarts.
I get street smarts.
So the street smarts is where you're actually doing the deals. And what that does is the street smarts reinforces the book smarts.
Yes.
So you always probably had the book smarts.
Yes.
But then when you started doing successful deals, then now you're
Yeah,
getting
you
street
applied
smarts.
them.
Pace taught
Yes.
me street smarts.
There you go.
He taught me street smarts.
Communicating,
Yes.
hustling, following
Yes.
up, all
Well,
of the rigor of that.
Talking
which
to
is-
sellers, being comfortable with sellers.
Being comfortable with yourself when you're doing so. Yeah.
Understanding the deal stress points of that seller, understanding the motivation of that seller.
How to add value, knowing that.
Yeah.
Everything I learned about the human side of business,
Yes.
I learned from Pace Morby.
Yeah, but I thought Pace Morby is in the sub 2 community. What does that have to do with wholesaling? So,
So sub two,
Connect that.
more, sub two,
Connect
is
that.
more, sub two. The word
Yeah.
sub two, the brand sub two is a great hook, but they
Yeah.
teach a lot more than sub two.
gotcha.
So Pace taught me how to wholesale.
Oh, gotcha.
He taught me
Okay.
He taught me
No,
like how
I
to do
understand.
that, like all the little tricks I know about wholesaling. Some of the tricks that people don't know, like the
that's
full
good.
time cash wholesalers. I learned those from Pace Morby because before he did creative finance, he was a home investors wholesaler.
Oh,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we looked into buying one of those
Yeah.
franchises.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he did that, and then
And
creative
then
finance.
did he still keep that home
I
investor's interest?
don't know.
No chance.
No chance.
No
right?
chance because he's got his
paying-
sub 2 groups. He's got all his intellectual property. Just as the problem that we ran into with
Yeah.
home investors
Yes,
is that
sir.
we had our own intellectual property. We had this, we had that, and they wouldn't let us do our own stuff.
Oh, then
and so
yeah,
we were
that
like,
doesn't
forget it.
work.
We're not
No,
doing this.
forget
Even
it.
though it would have been a good, for us, it would have been good at the time, but we were like, no, you're
Yeah.
not taking control of our intellectual property. We're about ready to do courses. We got a book coming out. No.
So side note, the reason Pace got into creative finance was because of home investors, because the lead costs. I think there's like a monthly. You have to
Right.
pay
Oh, yeah.
to buy
We
the
were-
That's a
leads.
really serious thing. And when the market's okay for you, it's okay. But when it's not, you're just paying
what
this
happened.
gigantic
And
amount
so
of
he was
money.
getting these leads, and these sellers wanted too much money.
Yeah.
So he would
Yeah.
structure
Yeah.
these creative deals and then wholesale them.
Oh, I like that.
That's how he did. That's how he learned.
I do like that.
He
Yeah.
structured
I
these
do like
owner
that.
finance. I'll give you your thing. Give me 0% down. Give me 0%
There you
interest.
go. Right.
I'm the only person paying you what you're asking for. These, Pace is a great salesman. Best
Right.
salesman
And
I've
he
ever
just had to know, but he had to know the underlying instrument of the loan
Yeah.
and that interest rate. Yeah.
Exactly. Or if
Yeah.
it's they own it outright, it's this owner finance.
Owner finance.
Zero
Of
0%.
course,
And
of
so
course.
he'll be like, listen, let me bake
Oh, yeah.
let me bake in my interest. Let me pay you 50 grand above your asking. Give
There
me
you go.
30 your and so like
Yeah.
50 grand more. That's
great.
Right. And, hey, I'm not gonna make a down payment, but
Right, it's great.
and then he finds somebody who wants to hold and go, hey,
Buy
hey,
and hold
Charlie,
it.
here's a
That's
0% interest rate. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
overpaying by 50 grand, but
Yeah.
you're gonna win after 7 years.
That's right. Rent
Right.
could be $2,500. Your payment's $2,000 a month. You're paying $24,000 towards the principal.
Yep.
2 years, that 50,000's back, and then and then that loan gets paid off 0%. Oh yeah, that's power. And your tenant's paying it.
$300,000 house, you might pay Pace a $25,000 assignment fee
Yeah.
for a no equity deal. There's no equity in the deal.
Yeah, but it's
Right?
the
But
cash flow.
it's the
Yeah,
cash
I get
That's
it.
how it's structured.
Oh, yeah.
So Pace would wholesale these.
Yeah.
And because
Which is
he
a
had
good
to-
deal, actually, for the right buyer.
He figured
Yeah,
out
for
how
sure.
to make money. And so this is what he taught in sub 2. He's like, hey, listen, if you're new to wholesaling, don't spend a bunch of money. Instead, go find other wholesalers and work their dead leads for free. That's how Pace
Work their
teaches.
work their
Work
what?
their
Dead
dead
leads.
leads, the ones that they couldn't close.
The ones
No. But why? If I'm a wholesaler, though,
Because
why?
these guys
No, no,
aren't
no,
bringing
hold
any
on.
creative financing to
No,
the
no,
deal. They're just
no. I
saying,
get
"Oh,
all
I'm
that.
wholesaling."
I'm a wholesaler, though. I have dead leads. Why would I give you my dead leads, or are you paying for them?
Hey Charlie,
Yes.
you got dead leads that have no equity or the sellers want too much money. You're not going to close them. They want. If I can make money, let's go 50-50. How about that?
On that wholesale fee.
On that wholesale
Oh, I'm
fee.
in.
Yeah.
You in?
All day.
Yeah, because they were just laying around.
They're laying around, right?
Yeah.
I'm in.
These aren't the Glenn Ross leads. These are the bad leads.
So the other mentorship told me I got to hire
I know, but
VAs.
wait a minute though. We got to disconnect again.
Sure.
How do you know the underlying interest rate? There has to be some sort of process for you to know that.
Oh, I got to call the seller and ask them.
Oh, okay.
That's what I do.
Okay. So you're not doing any title search or looking up the deed of trust or doing blah blah blah.
This is Pace taught me street smart. He said, Munif, the more time you spend on the phone, the more money you're going to make.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Just call the leads.
I agree.
And figure out what their problem is.
Yes.
And solve it.
Solve their problem.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, that's exactly right.
Right?
Oh, I love this.
Now, I don't know how to solve this problem. Hey, call someone in your network.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Okay. Hey, Charlie, I don't know how to solve this problem. They got this interest rate or they got this. It's like, yeah, you can actually do a loan mod or you can sell this on a short sale. There's a million things you can do
Yeah.
when you go to somebody who's more experienced.
Right. Yeah.
But I have the relationship with the seller.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's the value.
That's the key.
And that's what Pace taught me.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That's the value.
We always say the same thing, and I'm going to say it again. Your net worth is your network.
Yes.
And your network could be a stable network, but again, as long as you're always creating more and more people that you're adding into your network, that's your value right there, right? It's net worth. And I always tell this to people, this business, the real estate investment business, and I don't care what side you're on, wholesale, fix and flip, buy and hold, hard money, right? It's still at the end of the day a people business.
Yes.
Yeah, the entirety of it from start to finish.
Well, that
Getting the
raises
asset,
a
selling
question
the asset.
I have here. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a question out here, and it's exactly what Charlie just said. And how do you, because I understand numbers and laws, but relationships is difficult for me. And you've talked about the side, one side of what you're doing is that relationship. So what is I don't want to use the word trick, but how do you develop, sounds like mostly in cold calls, how do you cultivate that person to person relationship? We hear that a lot from our students, and Charlie's an expert who has an enormous amount of that in his brain. But are there certain principles or things that helps you do that? You seem like an affable, nice guy, but I mean, how do you connect on a human level so that they'll actually discuss all of these things with you?
Yeah. So, do you guys know Steve Trang from Real Estate Disruptors podcast? He was one of the judges, and he's in Arizona, one of the big guys there. He does a lot of the real estate wholesale sales training, and he's a reoccurring judge on Closers Olympics. And so he commented on this with me personally. This is how I do it. Might not work for everybody, but me, I do something called mirroring, and something I've always done before I even knew what it was called. If I'm talking to a homeowner and they sound distressed or they sound a certain way, I actually subconsciously match their tone.
That's interesting.
Somebody who speaks slowly, I speak a little bit slower.
Oh, I like this.
And somebody who speaks fast, I speak fast too.
I like this.
I make it a little bit faster. So there's an initial hook when I call people.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. I don't use a script. I mean, I do. I have a process, but not really a script.
No, but your script is in your brain because you've done it a few times.
Is it done? Yeah. So I hook them. I build a little bit of a relationship, even if that's, it's usually by giving value, even if it's like, why are so many people freaking calling me? It's like, hey, before I even try to buy anything or buy your house or do any of this, can I at least help you figure out why you're getting so many calls? Would that help you? Yeah, that'd help me. It's like, hey, listen, your house is on this. Like, I paid for this lead. Did you know your house is on this website? Let me give you the website. I buy this lead for $50 or $100 or $1,000, whatever it is. So they're selling your data.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, hey, let me help you. Let me give you an email template to send to this company so they take your name off. Like, you have to actually do. So now they trust me. I'm like, hey, man, did you at one point
build that trust?
Did you at one point want to sell, or is like what's going on? And I just, while before I ask, I share them about me, what I like. We find things together. Though.
Well, you find common ground.
Common ground.
You gotta find common ground.
I use tonality, right? Because my question isn't, so do you want to sell? It's like, it's curious. Like, you even want to sell? Like why? What's going on? At that time, I'm asking. So another pace thing. Everyone wears masks. The first mask you show to people is strangers, right?
Yeah.
You take that mask off. As the next mask you show your friends and family, and then the third mask is what you only show yourself. right? And I don't want to see that third mask. I just want to see that friends of family mask.
Yeah, you want to take that's the whole idea. You got to get behind the first mask.
That's it.
You got to lift it. And sometimes they might be confrontational at you. They might scream at you. They might throw the F-bomb at you. But that's that's right. That's
when you have the engagement, right?
Oh, I love that because that's the process of getting that first mask off. Now, it might take more than 5 minutes, but it's eventually going to come off.
The people who are the angriest at me on the phone, I love them because they're the most passionate people.
Yeah.
And I tell them that. Like, I love how passionate you are. So
We love the angry people.
because you know what? No one else is calling them.
Hey, Ed, you got your house you want to sell?
Yeah, I was going to say that I'm ready to sell them my house right now. I mean, that's
He's the angry one.
if you can make me feel good about being angry, I'll sell you.
But man, it's like man, you must have had a tough day because if you're not going through a lot right now, why would you be taking out all this anger at me? You don't even know me.
Right. Yeah.
What's going on?
Some of
man?
us people are born angry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
but
may
not-
not be having a tough day. They're just angry.
You know what?
At their core.
It's like, hey, I love how angry you are. it's like I accept you.
That's my new line. That's my
I
new line.
accept you.
I'm going to try that on all the people I know.
Man. You know,
I love how angry
hey
you
man,
are.
listen, like I'm a cool guy. Like, what's
But wait a minute. But have you ever gotten the question, what drugs are you on?
Listen, I'm a faithful man. I'm very spiritual. I believe in God. I have a daughter, like 2-year-old daughter. I'm
Congrats.
a family man.
Congrats.
So I think life is a drug. I'm
Yeah.
just so
Oh, that's
happy.
interesting.
Listen. Then I asked.
Oh, I love this.
Hey, Mr. Seller, if I give you $1 million, would you take $1 million right now? It's like, yeah, of course I would. It's like, what if I told you you wouldn't wake up tomorrow?
He might take
He might not
less.
take that $1 million.
I'm not going to take that.
Yeah, he might get
So what you got right now is worth
I
more.
might take less.
Right.
What you
That's
have right now is
Oh,
worth
I
more
like-
than $1
yeah.
million, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So if
right.
people can be in a bad attitude
Oh my goodness.
for no reason, you can be in a good attitude for no reason too, right?
Yeah, well, no. Well, it's funny you say that because these guys, they know it. When I wake up, man, I'm thrilled.
Great.
Yeah, because you don't know that you're getting another day.
It's a great day.
Right, so think about it. When we're sleeping, do you know that you're sleeping?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, yeah, we might be dreaming if we're lucky enough to sleep deep enough at night. But when you wake up, you're like, oh, wow, I'm alive, man. Let's go.
Let's go.
Shit, let's go.
Yep.
I got another day in front of me.
Yep.
Let's make the most out of the day. And so that's the way I am. It's like, all right, I woke up. It's great.
And so if negative attitude and negative energy is contagious, so is positive
It is.
attitude.
Yeah, PMA,
So
yep.
that angry self, maybe I don't get them in this call. But when I call them back,
You don't get them.
I've chipped down the hardest sellers
Yeah,
before where they're telling me everything.
Got rid of the mask.
And then, got rid of the mask. And then I asked, what's going on? How can I help you?
Okay, so you're in Arizona.
Yeah.
Was Pace Morby in Arizona?
Yeah, I moved 10 minutes from his house.
How'd you do in the warehouse, the Wholesale Olympics? How'd you do? And how did they score you?
It says judges, like Ryan Pineda, Steve Tran.
We know Pineda.
Yeah, Ryan.
We don't know him, but we're...
Ryan was one of the judges who scored me. So in the beginning, so the first Closers Olympics I went to, it was the
But
second
was this
one
an
they've ever-
online Olympics or was
online
this in
It's
person?
online. The whole thing. Everyone's
okay.
virtual. Everything's online.
Wow.
And I was a sub 2 student at this time, and so when Pace guided me, he's like, "Hey, Munif, just call other people's leads. Don't spend any more money. You've spent a lot on different programs and leads
like
and
this.
all that.
Yeah,
Don't
right,
spend
right,
any
right.
more. Go call
Yeah,
people. He's
yeah.
like, stream your seller calls online." And I made a Twitch channel where I would just call people's leads, and I would call them and I'd stream it. And man, literally, I sucked so bad back then.
That's okay.
But it got me comfortable being on camera.
Yeah.
And another thing it did, and Pace knew it was going to do this. I tried so hard on every lead because I had an audience, so I wouldn't just give up. I wanted to see what I can work that lead.
Oh, this is fun.
And then people in the comments are like, "Ask about this," and I have people in the comments.
How many people are in this Twitch world?
In the beginning, I had no followers, but I had like 800 followers at one point.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then they were like
They're just
paying
watching
me.
this-
I had people like subscribed to my Twitch channel
to watch
to
you
watch
sell.
me just talk to sellers.
Oh,
And
this
people
is
would give me
fun.
their sellers. I'd talk to
Oh,
sellers.
this is fun.
And I
I like this. This is a G-rated OnlyFans.
It's a G-rated OnlyFans, yeah. So, I
Well, it's a little bit
the
like
worst
what
OnlyFans
we've
ever.
talked
I
about.
love this. This is
Yeah,
great.
it's a little
This
bit
is
like-
great.
I was doing really well on Twitch. That's when the Closers Olympics was like they're recruiting people, and then Pace, what he did without even consulting me or telling me or asking me on his podcast, he goes Closers Olympics. Da, 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 da. He's shit talking a little bit, He said, my students will eat those competitors' lives. Munif Saza, I bet $10,000. Munif Saza will place top 3 in the closed Olympics. He's my new student, only been calling for 6 months. He's going to take you gurus down, yada, yada,
Oh, I
yada.
love this.
And I'm here.
So
I didn't know
funny.
this was going on.
Yeah.
My phone's blowing up.
Yeah.
I mean, like 500 text messages from like sub 2 people. Like,
Yeah.
If you got to go on wholesale hotline or whatever he was doing, it was like, Sunday, you got to go on, and they're sending me the link. I go on, and I'm like, what the heck? Pace is talking about me, and he does it, and then the organizers, they're like, okay, Pace, but you know what? Munif's got to try out like everybody else. We'll do it. We're not just gonna put him. He's got to try out. So I had to try out for it, and the tryouts were a role play where I'm going to be judged by 3 judges.
Yeah.
And you call in or you do it in a Zoom. But the tryouts were scheduled on one of my best friend Matt's bachelor party for Formula One in Austin. Yep. I don't know if you guys are Formula One fans. Yep.
Well, my Curtis lives in Las Vegas, and Formula One has been in Vegas the
Cycled
last couple
through there.
times.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they're
That's
cycling through Vegas.
So on the day of the final, I couldn't do the final race. I had to step out of the arena to dial in on Zoom. And it's like, if you've been to that track on Austin, it's like a dead zone.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like empty. So I had one bar, and I'm like looking for signal, and they thought I was like a no-show, and I get in, and there's like 50 or 60 people in the Zoom trying out, and there's like, who's this one dude who's not
Right.
on a camera, not
Right.
on his computer. He's dialed in. I'm like, it's me. And Aaron Bevins helped me. He's one of the organizers, and I was texting him like, yo, man, I'm here. I'm just trying to get in. So he stopped it. Like, they were going to end it. And they're like, no, we got one last guy. So then they went really hard on me on the role play.
Oh, that's
that
pretty good.
seller was really tough, but I overcame all the objections. I wowed the judges. They're like, no, we got to get this.
And that got you in.
Got me in.
Oh, that's funny. So now, did you finish third?
And so I finished. So the first round was a round between all the newbies to make it into the competition.
Oh, this
because the
is
competition, they invited all the gurus,
Yeah.
right? All the gurus who had
Yeah.
established businesses, but the
Yeah.
first are newcomers.
Yeah.
Nobody knows them, so they have to do the preliminary. And in the history of the competition, no one's actually gotten a signed contract live. 30 minutes, really hard to get something signed.
Of course.
My first day, I got a signed deal.
Within 30 minutes?
Within 30 minutes.
What state and where?
I don't remember.
Really?
I don't remember.
But in this competition, though, it's a nationwide get a deal. It's not
it's,
like, okay, I'm in Phoenix and I've got to get a deal here.
No.
It's-
So I'll tell you just the logistics, like
Yeah?
just for the analysts out there. They have like Lead Zolo, I Speed to Lead, like those lead
Yeah.
providers.
Mm-hmm.
So they partner with the organizers because
I see.
they're sponsoring
They're
it.
showing
So
it
they
off.
get a
Yeah.
lot of leads up ahead of time of people who
Yeah.
want to sell.
Good.
And so you're supposed to, then they set appointments. They're like, hey, somebody from our
Someone's
team is
calling.
going to call you within this time.
I see,
So be
yeah.
ready. And it's the competitors calling through those leads. And it's on a dialer. So they get
this
a
is great.
lot of leads ready. They put them on a dialer. And then you have to comp it while you're talking on the phone. You can't just like overpay, right?
So you're on there.
Yeah. So I gamed it a little bit because I went second in the competition. I watched the judges on how they scored the first guy.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, they don't really care about how good you comp. I'm like, because like Ryan's like, oh, why did he try to get it too low? I would have given him a little bit more, and I would have just wholetailed it to make the money.
Yeah.
Because I got cash, and I'm like, okay, cool. I don't have to do 70% minus repair. Like I can just kind of be a
You
little
could
bit.
just-
I can fudge the freaking numbers.
And you
a
could
little
just maybe bring up the tax record and kind of get a good idea.
So
of
the
the
guy
ARV.
it was like a piece of crap house. He wanted like 35 grand. My MAO was 20 grand. I locked it up at 30.
Oh, wow.
But the judges loved it.
Oh, that's funny.
The judges loved it. I'm like, it's
Oh,
not
that's
about
great.
getting a good deal. It's
That's
about
right.
the judges making them like you.
That's right. That's
right?
right.
So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
how I got the contract.
just fun.
They love me, right? And this is some of the skills I learned from Pace. It's about people. It's not always about the thing you think it's about.
That's right. As a matter of fact, it's funny because a lot of times the problem isn't always the house.
Yeah.
A lot of times, believe it or not, the house is secondary. It's the other things that got them to that
Yes.
problem. That those problems are the ones you got to solve.
Well, if the problem
and the
was
house will just come with it.
they'd call a realtor.
Yeah.
Be done.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be simple.
Yeah.
But long story short, came in second in the competition.
Oh.
And they invited me back another year, came in second again. So I haven't really been able to snatch the gold. That's okay.
Wait a minute. So you're going to do this again?
I don't know if I'm going to do it again. I did it twice. It's
How many
it's,
people are in
That's
it?
fun.
Usually about like 10 competitors.
Yeah, but now that puts you into what's called guru status.
So when I got second as a no name, it put like it built a lot of credibility to sub
gotcha.
two, like all these
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
Like, who's the
makes
sub
sense.
two community? A lot of people are like, who the heck is Munif Saza? And that's when I'm like, oh, I need to like brand my Twitch. Like I gotta
you're
I gotta
too
start
funny.
doing like
Wow.
Instagram. I gotta start making content because I got a lot of eyeballs on me.
Yeah.
And that's why like I had like
Yeah.
200 followers, and then overnight I had like 2,000 followers, and then I'm like, I gotta just do this.
Yeah, you got to keep doing it. Yeah.
Do it. And so
Nice.
that grew my social.
All right. So now,
good story.
okay, now you're in Arizona. How did you get back to Virginia?
Met my wife in Arizona. She's a sub 2 student that Pace had a hand in introducing us, and she was single and I was single, and
But you're in Arizona, not Virginia.
we got married.
In Arizona?
We flew out to Virginia and flew her family out to Virginia. Did a wedding in my parents' house.
Yeah. Okay, but wait a minute.
Yeah.
You now have a wife.
Yep.
Where's her family?
Her family's in Arizona.
So how did you get your wife to come to Virginia?
We got pregnant. And so my parents are retired. So we had like, hey, listen, we go to Virginia, we got nannies, we can both build our businesses. Because she's a businesswoman, she's an entrepreneur.
Dude, I think this is the biggest coup you've ever done.
It is.
Bringing your wife from Arizona, where her family is, to Virginia.
Yep. Oh,
That's the coup.
I'm moving her family here. Oh, they love Virginia.
Oh, they do. Good.
Oh, they love it. And,
Oh, you're moving them here?
because all their grandchildren, right, are gonna be here. My granddaughter,
Yeah.
my daughters are grandchildren.
Right.
You guys got to move to Virginia.
Oh, they're
we all
coming.
hang out.
They're coming.
I love my in-laws.
They're coming.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely coming.
good
Yeah,
story.
because when people realize it and get older, they're going to retire. They're going to be around their grandkids.
Oh.
It's no more of this. Let's retire. Let's move to Florida where you know nobody, you have no family. All that stuff has changed since COVID. Mm-hmm. And so wherever the grandkids are, that's where the old. Excuse
yeah.
me, I
Well,
guess
That's why
I'm.
you see people
Am I an old folk
retiring
now?
in place. You're it.
And I'm an old
You're
folk.
it, but you see people retiring in place. Like
Yeah, that's where the old folks are going.
aging in place.
They're following the grandkids. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. So now you're back to Virginia, though. So, did you have a wholesale business in Arizona that you were
Absolutely.
doing?
Yep. And so I was doing calling everyone's leads. So I was wholesaling virtually.
Oh, okay.
This is how-
Nationwide.
Nationwide. What I would do. This is my business
Yeah.
model. I say, hey, listen, bring me your lead. I'll call it.
Yeah.
And I can't dispo. I don't know any of the buyers. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. So we're gonna find another sub 2 student who's local,
Uh-huh.
and they're gonna find the buyer, and we're gonna split the deal 3 ways. That was my business model.
Oh, I see. Lead you.
yeah.
And
Dispo.
Yeah, that's
Lead you, dispo.
That's
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, we did that.
And that worked well.
It worked really well. It was
You
great.
worked the phone.
I worked the phone and I streamed it. So I made money on Twitch. I built my brand.
That's cool.
I got to do what I love doing.
Yeah, it's fun.
I barely knew how to comp. I didn't need a pace. Like you don't have to
Oh,
learn how to
you
comp.
learn
Call your
fast.
dispo guy.
You'll learn fast.
Yeah. Well, now I know how to comp.
Yeah,
We lost we didn't lose a deal, but we
Yeah.
he knows we there was a deal we comped lower, and we left a lot of money on the table. And you're in Alexandria,
Yeah.
and we're like, I'm never making that
Yeah,
mistake
that's okay.
again.
It
I'm gonna learn.
happens.
I'm gonna learn how to comp now.
Yeah, it happens.
We made money, but we could have made a lot more.
Yeah.
And we moved here, and I'm like, you know what? Let me do deals like in my backyard. Mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
that's
it's
when
fun.
we started doing.
Right, it's great. This is a great area.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a great area. And so, like, we always know where all the deals are because being on the hard money side, we're always getting requests from our borrowers.
It's like a funnel.
PG
that
County,
just come in.
Maryland, Waldorf, Anne Arundel. We get some more at 748 DC. So we kind of know a couple in Northern Virginia, but we know where all the deal flow is.
Oh, yeah, that's
we know all the distressed assets are. Now we try to avoid Baltimore City because we don't know it that well. Baltimore County's fine, but yeah, and so we're the ones receiving all these leads. So that's how we know where all the deals are.
That's cool.
Like guys like you are finding all these deals.
So where are you taking your business forward now?
Yeah.
From here.
growing the wholesaling company. Mm-hmm. So
Yeah, but eventually, though, you're going to be kicking off this thing called cash, and you're going to have to invest this cash. Then what are you going to do?
So we want to build the plan is to build a business that we sell.
Okay.
So the business is the asset itself.
The business is the asset itself.
Yeah. So you're going to have another one of you to sell that person. Who's gonna do the role that you do?
Yeah. So it would
That's
be-
the trick, right?
Yeah. The trick
because you
is
can have
to,
a lot of underlying processes, and
No, I
you can
think he's
hire
training
people
his
for
people.
processes. But are you going to train someone who's going to be able to be as
yeah,
effective as you are?
Exactly. I have to learn. So what I believe is, me and my partner, we're very effective in our we know how to work every lead to the highest and best.
Partner's name is?
Right there, Paul.
You obviously own the business with a partner,
Yes.
right? And so your exit strategy is to create this big wholesaling business and that's your asset itself, and then you're going to go and try and sell it.
Private equity, yes.
Okay, private equity. That's the route you're going to go.
Yep.
And so, do you also do you know the guys from Investor Lift at all?
Yeah, Robert Winsley, yeah.
So you know Robert too. I think he's trying to do the same thing with Investor Lift. So you'll get some private equity guys come here. But if a private equity guy shows up and they see this wholesaling business, right? They see your numbers, they see a call center. Do you have any idea what multiples they'll pay for this?
Not really.
Not yet. Okay.
Not yet.
So
That's
you're just okay.
I have an idea.
Knows that world.
Huh?
I have an idea. I used to deal with this. I did some of the legal work for sales of partnerships, dental offices. It's very similar because you have a personal relationship income stream. Also, the sale of some sports companies and coaches that would deal with younger kids. I mean, cash cows and things like. And the only way I ever saw it done, at which you're sort of alluding to, was bringing in junior partners and essentially transitioning the business to them. And
And
the
let them
most
buy
I've
you out.
ever seen is a 3-time multiple, right? And some sort of tail
That's
payments, but
interesting.
they don't want to do that very long because they're doing all the work. And so why would they stay with the company? They could go start their own company.
Yeah, but when you bring
I'm
on
really fascinated about how you do this because I think it's pretty hard.
Yeah, but when you bring on the junior partners, though, would that then be an employee stock option purchase, kind of, and let them take over? But how would the junior partners get the money to actually close them out?
So it could be either way. I mean, law firms do this right effectively with associates. You come in as an
Yeah.
associate, as an employee, but you can also, people lateral when they have a book of business or they're lateraling as a senior associate. And so with old style firms, and I was at one of them, you'd have to buy in. You'd have to put
Oh, I
equity
see.
into the entity. And
Yeah,
so the firm I was at had a relationship with Barclays Bank that would give you a
I see.
loan
Oh, I
in
see. Oh,
order to
okay.
get equity.
So you'd
And
have
so
relationships, right?
and then slowly your percentage or your ownership of the business would grow as the more senior person basically got as sort of a retirement setup by money outflow. But the direct sales that I always saw was usually about a 3 multiple and usually would require the people to stay for at
Oh,
least
okay.
a period of time,
Yeah, that
right? So
makes
say
sense.
the
The key,
coach the
yeah, the
coach
key
gets the
players.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's
So,
good.
Yeah,
Okay.
So also, there's a different, there's another angle where we can actually make it a brokerage and sell it to a brokerage.
Sure.
Right. So, because right now, I mean, it's like the model is wholesale, biggest spreads, but then, once we're a brokerage, we can take listings too.
There you
so
go.
we can maximize
Smart.
the leads.
That's a good way to do
Yeah,
it.
and we'll have to come back to you at another point and understand how you're dealing with wholesaling laws that are changing in these
Yep.
at a state level.
Yep,
So that's
absolutely.
a good,
Yeah, I
good
think
thing to
that's a
touch on when we
good-
get to part 2 with you.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
This has been really nice. It's good to get to know you. And for me, I think the most proud that I am of you is the fact that you have the guts to actually do this in not only Northern Virginia, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, but you're also doing it in a space where there's a lot of competition. And so you've got a lot of gusto and a lot of, to be in this space. And so I welcome you and, to your future success. And hopefully we'll all continue to grow together and life treats you well. Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for joining us.